Welcome to Neural Nexus Podcast, where we explore the hottest topics shaping the world. Let's dive in.
Welcome to our deep dive on Mega Millions.
Oh, yeah?
You've probably seen the headlines, those billion-dollar jackpots.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we are going beyond the hype today to really understand what makes this lottery tick.
Yeah.
We're going to explore everything from the real chances of winning to, the journey of where all that money goes.
It's fascinating stuff.
It really is.
And it's interesting because Mega Millions, it's not just about, those individual dreams. It's become, part of the fabric of American culture.
I like that.
It's like a shared aspiration, a conversation starter, even a source of community through office pools and group plays.
That's such a great point. It really does feel like everyone has a Mega Millions story.
Yeah.
Whether it's, a near miss.
Oh, for sure.
Or a dream about what they do with the winnings.
Absolutely.
But before we get lost in those daydreams,
Yeah.
let's break down the basics.
Oh.
What exactly is Mega Millions and how did it become such a phenomena?
Well, it all started back in 1996 as The Big Game, but it was rebranded to Mega Millions in 2002. And it's a multi-state lottery. So we're talking 45 states plus D.C. and the U.S. Virgin Islands all participating.
So it's not just your local convenience store.
No.
It's practically a national pastime.
It really is.
But for those who haven't taken the plunge and bought a ticket, walk us through it. How does the game actually work?
Sure. So it's pretty straightforward. You pick 5 numbers from a pool of 1 to 70, and then you choose one special mega ball number from a set of 1 to 25.
Okay.
Match all 6, and you're looking at that life-altering jackpot.
Okay. So far, so good. But I remember those odds being, well, let's just say not in my favor.
Right.
Can you remind us what those odds are?
Oh, yeah. Here's where it gets mind-boggling. Your chances of hitting that jackpot are a staggering 1 in 302.6 million.
Wow.
To put that into perspective, imagine trying to find a specific grain of sand on an entire beach.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So those are the odds we're talking about.
Wow, that analogy really puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
It's incredible that anyone wins at all.
It is amazing.
And yet people still flock to buy those tickets, especially when the jackpots reach, astronomical amounts.
And it gets big.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of those massive wins, let's talk about some of the most memorable jackpots.
Oh, the stories behind those wins are truly fascinating.
Yeah.
One that immediately comes to mind is from October 23, 2018. A single ticket holder in South Carolina won an unbelievable $1.537 billion.
Wow.
It was the largest single ticket lottery prize in U.S. history, and the winner chose to remain completely anonymous. Can you imagine having that much money and keeping it a secret?
It's wild. It makes you wonder what they're doing with all that newfound wealth. There have been other huge wins too, right?
Absolutely. In July of 2022, a single ticket in Illinois snagged a $1.337 billion prize.
Yes.
And in January of 2021, a group from Michigan won $1.05 billion. They smartly formed a legal entity to protect their privacy.
It seems like forming a legal entity is a popular move for those big winners.
Yeah.
And probably a wise one.
Yeah, smart move.
But it's not just about the money, is it?
No.
There's something about Mega Millions that captures the imagination.
Yeah, you're right. Part of it is definitely that that what if factor. That dream of financial freedom, early retirement, traveling the world.
Right.
Those fantasies are powerful motivators.
It's like buying a tiny piece of hope for a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
But of course, all that prize money has to come from somewhere.
Right.
It can't just magically appear. Where does all that money go?
It's a fascinating trail, and it's not just about making a few lucky people rich. The largest portion, of course, funds those massive jackpots, and the smaller prize is won by other players. But it goes beyond that.
So it's not just about individual windfalls.
Not at all. Each participating state gets a significant cut of the ticket sales, and they use it for a variety of public good initiatives. For example, in California, Mega Millions revenue has helped fund public education, providing much-needed resources for schools and students. Other states allocate funds to infrastructure projects like road repairs and bridge construction, or support vital public services like healthcare and emergency response. It's like a built-in system for giving back to the community.
That adds a whole other layer to the Mega Millions story. It's not just about individual luck. It's contributing to the greater good in a tangible way. What about the folks selling those tickets? Do they get a piece of the pie?
Definitely, retailers who sell winning tickets receive commissions or bonuses. It incentivizes businesses to participate and makes it a win-win for everyone involved. And naturally, a portion of the revenue also covers the operational costs of running a nationwide lottery, from administration and marketing to ensuring the integrity and security of the game.
I never really thought about all the moving parts that go into making Mega Millions happen. It's quite the operation. But before we dive into the inner workings, I'm curious about the psychology behind why people play, especially given those astronomical odds we talked about. What do you think draws people in beyond the obvious dream of winning it big?
Well, there's definitely the entertainment aspect.
Right.
For just a couple of dollars, you get a shot at excitement, anticipation, and that little thrill of checking your numbers. It's like a mini escape from the everyday routine.
It's like buying a little dose of hope and a chance to dream big. And let's not forget the social element, office pools, groups of friends pooling their money. That creates a shared experience, a sense of camaraderie, and a fun way to connect.
Absolutely. It's like a mini social event centered around a shared dream.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how Mega Millions has become so ingrained in our culture.
It really has. But it's important to remember that playing the lottery should be done responsibly.
Oh, for sure.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but it's crucial to keep things in check.
Absolutely. We'll be talking more about responsible play later on, but for now, let's take a peek behind the curtain and explore the inner workings of Mega Millions.
Yes, let's delve into the mechanics of ensuring fairness and explore some of those intriguing facts and figures that make this lottery so unique. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our Mega Millions deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
We've been unpacking the history and the psychology behind this lottery phenomenon.
That's fascinating, right?
Yeah, but now I'm curious about the behind-the-scenes mechanic. Like, how do they ensure that everything is fair and square, especially with so much money at stake?
Well, it's a complex operation, that's for sure. Ensuring fairness in a multi-state lottery like Mega Millions involves rigorous security measures and sophisticated technology. For example, they use certified random number generators to select the winning numbers.
Random number generators.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty high-tech.
It is.
How do those work?
Well, these generators use complex algorithms to create truly random number sequences, eliminating any possibility of human bias or manipulation. It's like a digital version of pulling numbered balls out of a hat, but with even greater randomness and security.
So, like, no chance of anyone rigging the system or predicting the numbers.
Not a chance. The process is designed to be completely transparent and auditable with multiple layers of oversight to ensure the integrity of each drawing.
Okay, that's reassuring to know.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they go to such lengths to keep everything fair.
Mhm.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about strategies.
Okay.
I know it's a game of chance, but do people actually have, like, strategies for picking their numbers? Do any of
Well,
them actually work?
it's funny because statistically, every number combination has an equal chance of winning.
Right.
So your odds are the same whether you pick based on your lucky numbers, your birthday, or just go with a quick pick. But
Yeah.
that doesn't stop people from trying to, outsmart the system.
I've heard of people using all sorts of methods. Birthdays, anniversaries, numerology, even hot and cold numbers.
Yeah.
Do any of those approaches actually hold any water?
Unfortunately, no. The idea of hot and cold numbers is a misconception.
Oh.
Past draws have absolutely no influence on future outcomes. It's all about pure randomness.
So no matter how much we analyze past results or try to find patterns,
Yeah.
it ultimately comes down to luck.
Exactly. That's the beauty and the frustration of lotteries.
Right.
It's a level playing field where anyone, regardless of their strategy, has an equal shot at winning.
That's both liberating and slightly daunting.
I know, right?
No magic formula, just pure chance. But speaking of chance, I'm curious about the people behind those winning tickets. Are there any interesting patterns or trends among those lucky winners?
It's fascinating because winning seems to be truly random. We see winners from all walks of life, from all across the country. There's no magic formula for who gets lucky. It's a true testament to the idea that anyone can win.
It's like those heartwarming stories we hear about the group of coworkers who finally hit the jackpot after years of pooling their money, or the single parent who wins just when they need it most. It's a reminder that while the odds may be slim, the possibility is always there.
You're absolutely right. Those stories are what make Mega Millions so captivating. It's not just about the money, it's about the dreams, the possibilities, and the impact it can have on people's lives.
While we're on the topic of winners, it's interesting to note that some choose to remain anonymous.
Yeah,
What motivates them to stay out of the spotlight?
that's a good question.
I imagine winning that much money would be life-changing, but maybe not always in a positive way.
That's true. Suddenly, finding yourself with immense wealth can be overwhelming, and some prioritize privacy and safety. They might want to avoid unwanted attention, potential scams, or even pressure from family and friends.
It's like that double-edged sword. You win this incredible prize,
Right.
but then you have to navigate the complexities of newfound wealth and fame. or the potential pitfalls that come with it.
Exactly. For some, anonymity allows them to enjoy their winnings without feeling pressured to share, donate, or live up to other people's expectations. It's a personal decision, and there's no right or wrong answer.
It's a reminder that winning the lottery isn't always a fairy tale ending. It's a life-altering event that requires careful planning, sound financial advice, and a strong support system.
Well said. And speaking of navigating the complexities of winning, it's important to talk about the darker side of the lottery, the potential pitfalls, and the importance of keeping things in perspective.
Yes, let's shift our focus and explore those cautionary tales that remind us to play responsibly. Welcome back to the final part of our Mega Millions deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground from the history and psychology to the amazing stories of winners and the mechanics that keep the game fair. But now it's time to address the elephant in the room, the potential downsides and the importance of responsible play.
Yeah, it's easy to get swept up in the excitement of those massive jackpots, but it's crucial to remember that the odds are stacked against you. The dream of winning big can sometimes overshadow the potential pitfalls.
So let's talk about those potential pitfalls. What are some of the things listeners should be aware of when playing Mega Millions or any lottery for that matter?
Well, one of the biggest dangers is chasing losses.
Oh,
It's tempting to think if I just buy a few more tickets, I'm bound to win.
right.
But that can lead to a spiral of spending that can have serious consequences for your finances.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, throwing good money after bad.
Exactly.
It's easy to get caught up in that cycle, especially when the jackpots are so enticing.
For sure. And it's important to remember that each drawing is independent of the previous ones. Your odds of winning remain the same no matter how many tickets you buy or how much money you spend.
Another concern is the potential for addiction. Can playing the lottery actually become a problem?
Absolutely. Like any form of gambling, playing the lottery can become addictive for some individuals. It's crucial to recognize the warning signs, like are you spending more than you can afford? Are you lying about your gambling habits? Do you feel anxious or depressed when you're not playing? If you answer yes to any of these questions, it might be time to seek help.
That's really important advice. It's easy to dismiss those warning signs, but it's crucial to prioritize your well-being. Where can people turn if they think they or someone they know might have a problem?
Well, there are many resources available, such as the National Problem Gambling Helpline. They offer confidential support and guidance to anyone struggling with gambling addiction.
That's good to know.
Remember, there's no shame in reaching out for help.
Yeah, it's a reminder that your worth isn't tied to winning the lottery. There's so much more to life than chasing those big jackpots.
Right. And another potential downside to consider is the impact of sudden wealth on relationships. We often hear stories of lottery winners facing conflicts with family and friends, or even becoming targets of scams and financial predators.
It's almost like that saying, more money, more problems. It seems like winning a huge sum of money could bring its own set of challenges.
It definitely can complicate things. Suddenly, having vast sums of money can strain relationships and create unwanted attention. It's crucial to have a strong support system and a plan for managing that wealth responsibly.
It sounds like winning the lottery isn't always the fairy tale ending we imagine it to be.
Yeah,
It's a life-altering event that requires careful consideration and preparation.
that's why it's so important to approach Mega Millions or any lottery with a balanced perspective. It's a game of chance, and while it's fun to dream big, it's essential to stay grounded, play responsibly, and protect yourself from potential harm.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Mega Millions, what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What do you hope they'll remember from our conversation?
I think the most important message is to play for fun, set a budget, and stick to it. Don't let the allure of winning overshadow the importance of responsible gambling. Remember that true wealth is measured not just in dollars, but in the richness of our experiences and relationships.
Well said. That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this captivating journey into the world of Mega Millions. We've explored the highs and the lows, the dreams and the realities, and hopefully provided some valuable insights along the way.
Absolutely.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive. Stay tuned for more fascinating topics coming soon.
See you next time.